Welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
Hello. Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
This is the Fifth Trooper Podcast. You know who we are. So, we're here. It's the millionth week of quarantine, and we're still going strong. And, you know, Evan is still Evan, and Jay is still Jay, and there we go. How's that
still
for
breathing
everybody?
air. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So, here we are. Not a ton of Legion stuff to talk about, Evan, is there?
No. Actually, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing really.
Yeah, Invader League, but I'm not going to talk about that because you guys all know my feeling about that. Even though Evan and I are both playing and we're interested in playing the game, I just don't find it as interesting content to recount later. So, you know, if you're interested in Invader League and you really want to know a ton about it, go to the Scoundrels. They did yesterday's episode. They did a breakdown of the maps and stuff for Invader League. And then, I know Stabcast is going to be doing a whole thing this week as well, so you could go listen to them. That's, that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I got a game in last night with Isboticus. I think I'm saying his name right. It was a good game. He got me, but just want to say a good game, man. Hopefully we'll get to play again, or we said we'd try to meet up at a con if they ever happen again. Here,
I want to hold on. I want to put a pin in the conversation. I have a whole long talk about that. Let me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna write that down. I want to come back to that because I want to get to this really quick, and then we'll swing back around before I forget. Because so what happens is I always have these ideas that I want to talk about on the podcast, and then like you and I just start shooting the shit, and then I'm like. Oh God, where did that go? And then we're like at the end of the podcast, and I'm like, oh, I never mentioned that. So a couple of things. Number one, mats are in. So if you pre-ordered mats, I shipped them out to you Monday. They left the station. I packed them all this weekend. And if you've been waiting for the pre-orders to be in because you didn't want to, you didn't know if we were going to have them or whatever, mats are in stock. You can buy them from our website, thefifthtrooper.com. So that is awesome. When you listen to this podcast, we are going to have a bunch of other stuff available to buy on the store. We got laser cut laser cut tokens. We got a token pack with silhouettes and aim dodge, standby, wound tokens, and little battlefield marker tokens. We've got silhouettes you can buy. We're going to have tokens that go along with our Legion event deck. So you can have you can buy those. We're going to have dice trays up there. We're going to have order token bags. A whole bunch of stuff's dropping tomorrow on the store. And so, so look out for that. So if you're listening to this podcast, it's live on the store. So go check it out, fifthtrooper.com. And if you want to support us and buy some stuff, some cool, I guess, is it supporting us if I'm actually giving you something that's worth the money? If you want to buy stuff.
If you're just breaking even.
Yeah, come to the website and buy it. That's the story of that. So that was what I wanted to say, Evan, real quick. And then so here's another thing that Evan and I kind of wanted to talk to you, the audience, about. And that is, Evan and I have been talking personally about shifting the podcast a little bit. We started as I started with someone else and, started the podcast as a Legion podcast. Evan came on board and it really took off once Evan came on, and we've done a ton of great stuff as a podcast. And we've always been under the guise of like a Legion podcast, but really, between our interviews and between, you and I just having conversation, Evan, that we are kind of more than just a Legion podcast, right? We're more of a gaming geek culture.
Like a hobby.
Like a hobby podcast. Yeah, that's good. And so we wanted you, the audience, to know that we are going to start leaning into that starting next episode. So what you could say up till now, how many, we're like 80 some odd episodes in.
Yeah.
This has been Season 1 Legion, right?
Hell of a season, but yeah.
Yeah. And, what we want to do is start introducing you guys, because Evan and I, even though we love Legion and we play all the time, it's not the only game we play. As you guys know, we Evan and I stream Pirates, Sea of Thieves every Tuesday night video game. I have tons of board games. Evan has tons of board games. And, we have brought this up to you guys in the past about other games and playing other games. Like a few episodes ago, or the last episode, we brought up Oak and Iron, the battleship game that plays kind of like Legion, but it's like pirate ships. What we want, or X-Wing, and it's kind of like pirate ships and old, that 1700s naval battles. Well, we want to start talking about that stuff more and exploring that stuff more. And so, we as people want to grow a little bit, and as a podcast would like to grow. And so, I think what I'm saying is we're kind of giving you the heads up that we want you to stay on board with us with this little journey we're going into. Even if you came here specifically for Legion information, stick with us. We're going to talk Legion time to time, but we want to start exploring and talking about other games. Evan has talked to a number of other game developers that are interested in coming on the podcast. We want to bring the game developer, creator of Oak and Iron on the podcast and talk to you guys about that game. And so I believe that there's a lot more that we could be talking about and doing for you, the audience, and for ourselves. And so we want to start doing that. So this is our official heads up to you that starting next week, we will be doing that. We'll be exploring a little bit more.
Yeah, I think we'll still talk Legion, but mostly just big, interesting things, or like big news articles, right? Like Gen Con release of stuff, or we'll probably run by like a news article here or there when they come up. But I mean, mostly I think it's just like Legion. Focusing on one game is tough, just because there isn't content like right now, especially, right, man, we are in a content drought. And there's just so many other cool games that are swimming around that I've been interested in that I think you'd be interested in. Jay and I have been like this Oak and Iron. We're looking to get into that, and then we've got like the Fallout game, and then the Elder Scrolls game, and we play a lot of board games, and we could talk about that. I think we're looking to spread our wings more here and give it a shot. I mean, if you want Legion content all the time, like the Scoundrels aren't stopping, right? Like they're gonna have their weekly podcast with up to the minute Legion information. Yep. But yeah, not saying we're 100% out on it, but I think if you listen, maybe it'd be like maybe once every 4 episodes or something, you might hear Legion, even if that, just because we're there's just so many other cool things we want to try and just do. And there's just honestly, like, if you go to an event, you see how many more other miniature games exist. And our little local area is either Fantasy Flight or Warhammer. That was it. But man, you go to like Gen Con and like Wild West Exodus, what? It has like 1,000 factions. It's a Wild West miniature game with like magic and demons and stuff. I'm like, yo, I'm in, right? Like the giant monster mech one out from the guys who did War Machine. That looks awesome. Yep. Like there's so many cool things. We're just looking to explore, right? Like and you might find something new. Listening to us, which is cool. And the more we get out there, the more just we've got to I don't know, man, it's fun. Playing games is fun. And I like to play a lot of stuff.
Think we're in a position now where we have an opportunity to bring more stuff to you, the listener. Yes. And people, like I said, Evan's talked to a couple game developers, some have reached out to us. And like, I just want to be able, same with the Sam Witwer interview and the Elizabeth Gruan interview. Like, I want to be able to bring you guys more stuff that may not always necessarily be Legion focused. Now, that's not to say that I don't still love Legion. I still don't, I love Star Wars. I'm still very happy to talk about all that stuff. I just wanted you guys to know that the amount of Legion will probably decline, but we'll be exploring other topics, and we'll bring Legion back into the fold when necessary.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I mean, before we get too far off Star Wars, you hear about Taika Waititi?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, dude. I'm so for those of you who don't know, if you haven't seen it, he has gotten a Star Wars movie. So it didn't say. I think it's just going to be one, but I am super jazzed about
So if
that.
it could just be like Jojo Rabbit with Kylo Ren, and then he sees Palpatine instead of Hitler, I think I'm in. Like,
oh man,
sign me up, man.
Well, I mean, I'd love, I think he did this with Thor, right? In the Marvel Universe, he kind of brought a little bit more weird and like the outlier of what's, I think Guardian of the Galaxy kind of started it, but Thor Ragnarok really brought it in where it was like, oh, there's like a whole other universe of stuff going on, and it's like it has levity, but it's it's funny, but it's serious. Like it's really good, and I'm excited to see that in the Star Wars universe. And I mean, we already know it was the last episode of Mandalorian that he directed.
Yeah,
like he did a great job with that. And if you haven't had a chance yet, if you still have Disney Plus, they just started releasing the series, which is the behind the scenes about Mandalorian, and the first episode is about the directors, and so they talk to each one of the directors about what they were thinking, what they wanted to bring, to the table for Mandalorian, the Star Wars universe, and he was on there too talking about it, and so it's just really encouraging, and that's exciting.
So I just want to get that out real quick before I forgot, because it was just May the 4th is a cool holiday. A lot of people show they like Star Wars that day, and that's really cool. But that was like the one bit of like interesting news. I think that, and then the free content update for Fallen Order came out. Like it was some extra combat stuff. So we got a couple of cool.
Yeah, I got it.
May the 4th presents.
I got to play that game.
It's good.
I started it, and then I was like, I got distracted by something. I'm sure it was Legion related, but
you're usually crushed. Yeah, geez, right. You usually crunch for time, so if you just even throw it on like easy, just to get through, to get to the interesting bits, I think that's even worth it, just to see like the story and then like where they're going with that.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. What was
conventions?
There's the thing. Oh, conventions. Yeah. So I was, we were watching. Oh gosh, what was it? Oh, I watched that other Disney Plus show, the prop one, where he's going like prop hunting or whatever for the Disney movies.
Yeah.
And in one of the episodes, he goes to Comic-Con and in San Diego, and I was watching it with Rachel, and I was just going. I said out loud, and Rachel was like, "What?" I go, "Is this ever going to happen again?"
Yeah.
But like the idea of that, is that going? I mean, I'm sure it is, but like for instance, they were talking. We're in New York State, and our governor was saying recently that why are we so tied to how schools run right now? It seems antiquated and old. We should start looking into, if this has taught us anything, that distance learning is a possibility. And I was just thinking about that as cons too. I'm like, man, is that how somebody one of these days going to go, cons are antiquated and old. Like we need a change because pandemics, like how,
yeah, right.
How is this going to affect us long term? And when, okay, let's say we get a cure or like a vaccine, in January or whatever. Once the vaccine comes out, is like everybody back to normal, or are we not going to forget, or like what's going to happen here? That how is this going to work?
It's crazy, right? Because we Gen Con delayed its badge purchase, which is scary. Because like this was the year we were going to go to Gen Con, right? Like, and then I keep getting these emails from Nova, which are usually like, hey, we're just telling you what's going on, we're getting ready for this. But every time I get an email, I'm just expecting to open it to say, hey, Nova's canceled.
Yeah.
The thing that, first world problem, all my vacation time is just spent on these events, and if no events happen, I have nothing to do.
Let me ask you this, Evan. If they so we're not scientists, so we don't know exactly what's happening, but you kind of get the gist of the current events.
Yeah.
If Nova was like, F it, it's going down. Like, how comfortable are you going?
Not really.
Yeah.
So that's the thing, right? Like it's,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Would I love to go? Yes. Could I wear a mask? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the way this particular virus spreads, it's very fast. And sure, no one would get it at the convention. Like people would get it, but no one would show signs of it, right, at
Right.
the convention, right? So it spread one person coming in because you're like butt to butt a lot of the time in there. Like
Yeah.
especially when playing games, like you're packed. Every elevator's full of people. Outside, there's just people all over the place. Like I like my you see again, it's not so much I care if I get it, it's if I get it and give it to somebody I care about and they get sick
Right.
and
Right. Right.
they
Right.
could pass away from it. Like that's more important to me, so I'd rather deny myself of having fun to make sure the people I care about are as safe as
Yeah.
I can make them.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. Like for me too. Like, listen, I don't know anything about
Yeah.
any of this. I'm not smart enough to know anything. But the thing that I ask myself is, okay, let's just assume the worst,
Yeah.
right? That the worst of what everybody's saying is true. Okay, even if it isn't, I mean, really, am I hurting anything to just kind of lay low for a few months and like not do things I want to do so that just in case this is all real, which I mean, by the way, I think it's real, but just in case it is as bad as it is, that I just not screwing up anybody else's life. That's, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what you got to say to yourself.
To me, it's just it's not about me. That's how I look at it.
Right.
Because man, like I'm in good I'm in good-ish shape. Let me before I get to I'm passable. But my health is good. Like if I got it, I'd probably be fine. But
Yep.
to me, it's if I got it and give it to somebody else, what that would make me
Right.
feel. Right? So, call it selfish, or call it whatever. But that's just how I do. But yeah, that's the thing. Like even if Nova said, yeah, let's go, man, I'm already like $350 into Nova. That's not even
Right.
counting the hotel room, right? For my Supernova plus my pass to all 3 games I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like I'm in a lot. So I want it to happen, but I don't think the world will be ready
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
mass like in a
I
gathering like
honestly
that.
think this year's events
It's a
need to
shot.
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just better for everyone if all the events were just like, yo, sorry, we're gonna do it next year. Let's see what the year gives us in terms of a vaccine or some sort of answer to this, right? Because the real problem is we just don't have an answer. It's just a problem with no solution right now.
Yeah.
And so like I know, in our chat we were talking about Gen Con and stuff, and I remember I didn't say anything in chat, but I read it and I was like, yeah, I'm not going. Like
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
if it's on, like, nah, I'm gonna pass. It's not that important to me, like that I have to be there. But yeah, so anyways, it's just an interesting thought. Like, I wonder what we could do to kind of, what can we do to these cons to like change them a little bit so that maybe they're better for the better,
I mean, really the answer is just like reduce the amount of
Yeah,
tickets sold, and that becomes problematic because
sure.
like anybody who wants to go to PAX Unplugged should be able to go to PAX Unplugged, right? That's just the way, like it's an open to everybody. But
I
to
suppose.
I mean, like, hey man, if it's there and it's a public forum, you're paying money. I don't see why not. But if you
Yeah,
do
I
like
mean,
if you have to
yeah,
like wait in line to buy tickets just to get in, and
right.
then like it's only like 100 people, I don't know.
But here's the thing. You go to a concert, not everybody gets to go to the concert. They have a number of tickets that they can sell. Right? Like you go like big trade shows, company trade shows, they have a number of tickets that they can sell. So I don't see why putting a number on that is a bad thing. Just saying, yeah, you know what? 1,000 people get to go this year.
Yeah, I guess it's
I think you would kill a lot of the industry. You probably wouldn't have
yeah.
as many shows or
Well, you
maybe
wouldn't have
even
many
more
shows
shows.
and like
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's interesting because unfortunately a lot of the big like game companies use those events as places to do tournaments, such as
Yeah.
FFG and Warhammer events. And so now you've got people going just to play that game and not actually go to the event. So do you say like I don't know? It gets. I mean, look at a thing like Nova or Adepticon. That's you're really just there to play games, right?
Yep.
There's places to buy stuff, but that's not really why you're going to Adepticon. You're going there to play games.
Yeah.
Um, and that's like, does it make like it's already a pain in the butt to try to get into Worlds? Does that make it even harder, right? Like, I guess it's only top 10, or whatever they want to do.
Yeah, maybe that's okay. Maybe what it is instead of having the Worlds be as big as it was going to be this year, maybe that's where those regionals come into play, where you're like, okay, you get an invite at a prime, which gets you to a regional, and then if you get an invite from the regional, you go to Worlds. And then that's kind of how you can mitigate that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's like humanity's, like, since America's been done, like, set up, I suppose. We've had like that one bad flu in, I think, 1918 or something.
Yep.
That had we got through
The
that, and then
Black Plague.
yeah, black kept
or
going
Spanish
farther back,
flu. Okay.
going farther back, right? Like, so it's not like we don't recover, right? Like,
Yeah.
this isn't
Yep.
the end all be all, but it's just in the short term, it's really stinky, because it's like all the fun stuff that I enjoyed doing, that I spent my time off doing, is getting kebabbed.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
maybe it's good that I don't travel for a year. But that was kind of like what I looked forward to during the year. Like, I'd work and
Yeah.
then be like, man, today sucked at work, but at least I'm going to Nova in a month. Now it's like,
Right.
man, today sucked. I guess
Yeah.
next year I'll get to go to Nova, right?
Yeah, it has been an interesting few months, and I'm sure we've got a few more ahead of us that are going to be super interesting as well.
Like, it's funny, like, all my friends have been buying this Fallout game, and they're all painting up stuff and getting ready. We're all just kind of sitting in our houses, like, just sharing pictures. We're like, it'll be cool when I get to, you know, play this game
Yeah.
in a cooperative fashion. Uh, so it's interesting. Everything's just interesting is the only word I can use that's not miserable.
Yeah, I'm with you. For me, it's been fine. Like, I don't know. I'm not. Me. I only have like so much toleration for groups, and then groups of people, and then I got to kind of back it down a little bit, just because I don't know if it's I get overwhelmed or I like being. I like my solitary lifestyle. That's why I live out in the woods,
Hermit
like,
Chalansky, yeah.
yeah. And so I enjoy people, but only for so much. So, I think for me overall, it's been okay. There's been a couple days where I'm like, I gotta get out of here, and like I just get in the car and just went. Rachel and I just went for a drive. We didn't go anywhere. We just drove around, right? And so overall though, like I've been doing a lot of farming over here at the house and getting the gardens ready and chickens, and I got all kinds of crazy stuff going on. That's been fun.
I'm a peacock, Jay. You gotta let me fly.
I've been working. We've been working on the cart, as you guys will see if you go check out the shop at the Fifth Trooper. We got laser cut stuff. I've been designing a bunch of stuff for that, as you'll see, and like getting that all prepped and ready to go, getting the mats out. We've been doing this Fridays. Actually, this Friday will be the episode 4 of Recover the Supplies, our role-playing Star Wars role-playing game. That's been amazing. And starting in a couple weeks here, so we've been we got, I don't know, some RPG designer guy to design some of the maps and stuff, and they're okay. They were serviceable for us to start, but then I've really started designing maps for it, and so like probably like in a few episodes of probably another month or so, you'll start seeing more of the artwork that I'm designing put into the game. And the interesting thing about this is the RPG maps that we're using in Recover the Supplies, the ones that I designed, I'm going to have them for sale. So you'll be able to buy digital, and I think we're going to do print as well, but you'll be able to eventually buy RPG maps from us as well.
Oh, nice. Neat. Yeah, I saw you posting those. They look pretty good.
Yeah, and so that's been really interesting. So, and I mean, luckily, I know a lot of people are out of work and it sucks, but thankfully I've been okay. Couple things here and there have, presented some hiccups, but overall, work has been plentiful so far. And so that's been good. So I just kind of taking this time to spend with the family, and then if I'm not spending time with the family, I've just been pouring myself into work even more than I was before. So
that's fair. I mean, I've had more time to do that. I've been doing some multimedia stuff for my job now. They're looking to get into more like producing, like interviewing different like local tech companies for podcasts, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I've been making little videos for them. I've also actually I've been Warhammer Underworlds, that game that I played back when you could play games, has an online. Actually, they made a Warhammer Underworld game on Steam, and it finally launched. So I've been looking to maybe get a league going of that. It's actually super toned down Warhammer. It doesn't have like only has 6 of like the 25 factions or whatever in there, and plus it has a lot of the basic cards. And I got our buddy Len. He's playing with us. So it's funny seeing him on Discord.
Awesome.
He's old man yells at Cloud. Except he's not. He's like, this high end artist, digital artist, but trying to get work him through Discord is really funny to me. How do I get off this call? But
that's amazing.
I've been looking to do. I have a gaming channel I do. I've been looking to maybe start getting that kicked up and doing something like that. Just something to do, man. Right? Like just something to look forward to at the end of the week, kind of stuff. So that's kind of what's been on my radar. Just it's a way for me to play this board game with my friends, just to get some sort of interaction going. But otherwise it's been pretty whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm usually, like we've said earlier and on the podcast before, I'm usually strapped for time, so like getting to spend time with Evan usually was Tuesday nights and Friday nights. We had our local Friday night games that we played, and then went out to dinner. Afterwards, I honestly missed that a lot. And then even though how it is with friends out there, like you see them enough, and you're like, all right, I'm going to take a Friday off here or there. Just be like, okay, I've had enough of this. And like, I think I've even convinced Evan a few times, like, hey, you want to just come over here and hang out and play a game or something? But yeah, we haven't done it in forever, it seems. So like, I'm like, oh, I miss those guys. Like,
it was we had a good Friday group.
Oh man,
actually the thing I miss most lately, because it's my Fridays are now just what I do normal nights, and then my Saturdays are just that too.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to do. See, I've worked from home for the last 10 years or so, and so like I learned early on that what I had to do is, like, I know it's gonna sound weird, but like scheduling your week as if it's like you're actually going into a job is key. Like every morning I wake up at the same time, I take a shower, I eat, what I mean? Like I go to the office, quote unquote, and I work, and then, and then I'm done at a certain time. And so what I do is like the weekends in quarantine, I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend the weekend doing, digging the garden or working on the chicken stuff, or, just doing something different that isn't related to work or the podcast or the network, and just trying to, separate those out. It's the best way to do it, because otherwise the days are just, you never know which day's what anymore.
Yeah.
No, for real. And as much as I love everything I do from a work perspective, you still need that mental break, and with spring and summer coming, I'm really, it's been halfway decent here in New York. Like it has its bad days, but this weekend was like 75 or something, and it was sunny, beautiful. And so like going outside and just being outside, and, we got a truckload of manure and a truckload of wood chips, and we were doing all kinds of crazy gardening stuff. So
nice.
Yeah,
I mean, hey man, it's we I've cleaned up the yard a little bit, tried to get my dog outside. It's I keep running out of energy drinks, so I have to go on those runs. So I've got like my mask, sunglasses, and long coat on. I'm like, just put them in the bag. Don't look at me. Just put them in the bag.
5 energy drinks in your hand as you're running out of the
store. Just like waddle out of the store because we don't have plastic bags. Don't act like you're not impressed.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. So, Evan, let me ask you this, and actually I'm asking the audience here too, so please message us and let us know, but What do you think? What does everybody want to hear us talk about? Like Evan, I know we had a couple. Why don't we preview some of the stuff like you wanted to bring on the cast to talk about, like some of the games?
Oh, sure. I mean, so honestly, I just wrote an article about my poor experiences trying to do an open box and how unprepared I was compared to what I thought I was doing.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do an open box for Fallout Wasteland of Warfare. It's a game I've been talking about forever, so I was going to do open box. Well, I don't have access to like anything. So I in my article I go through a little bit like, hey, I need lights, I need this, I need that. I did finally buy a nice camera though, so I could actually get some good shots. But so what I might do is you might see some content. Not I was gonna do the unboxing, but there's a lot of them out there, so I might just get them painted up and then get a game, like walk through one of the the co-op games. What I might even do is we've got the Modiphius, the company that makes Wasteland Warfare, then the Elder Scrolls game. They're shipping out. Their warehouse is closed, but they said they'd start shipping this month. It's May, right? Is it May? Okay, yeah. They said they'd open up in May. And we've got I've got some of the cool promo figures from Fallout coming in that. They even did cool like see-through units that have the Stealth Boy on, which I thought was kind of neat. Like they're just like a clear blue plastic. That was pretty cool. But then we've got that should be coming in then. Oak and Iron actually has a great TTS mod. Well, it's pretty good actually. So you got the full rule book. You've got they put a little iPad in there so you can like watch how to play video, how to play the game. So if you want to play this game or look, what? I'm sorry.
That's smart.
Yeah, no, it is real good. Because I was actually playing with our buddy Bushman, and I'm like, we were playing Sea of Thieves. We got beat up, so I'm like, hey, let's just play Oak and Iron. And then we're reading through the rules. And even good rule books are still like can be a block of text. So we just opened up the little iPad and started watching the how to play video. So we're both like huddled around this tablet in Tabletop Simulator like we would be in real life around a phone, right? Just staring at this guy playing this game. Like that was pretty funny. That was the but that's got a good mod and it's free and it's official. So they actually like they support it and it's got a nice mat. Hopefully that I mean, geez, there's so much out. Like I'd love to check out Wild West Exodus. That sounds really cool. Dust looks neat. There's a lot of games which I didn't have access to or even know about now. We got there's new stuff coming out for 40K that Bailey and I on CC Initiative will be talking about. We've got a guest coming on. One of his buddies just played with him just as long as he has. And they go over Chaos Undivided, which is just all of Chaos kind of grouping together. That's really neat. But yeah, it's mostly just a lot of like, BattleTech. Man, I've got all this BattleTech stuff that I'd love to talk about because that's really neat. Actually, I should get my buddy on. He wrote a 180-page campaign guide for BattleTech, and it's James, right? Our crazy man James. He like just decided he liked BattleTech and wrote this huge campaign book on it. That'd be interesting for him to come on and like just kind of talk about what that is. And it was funny because I was talking to him and I'm like, why don't you just send this into Catalyst and see what they say? And he's like, oh yeah, like I guess I could do that. I'm like, yeah, like what do you mean? Yeah, like
that's funny.
Like, he was just writing it for himself, like and his friends. So
oh god,
yeah, I've got that's about everything I got lined up, I think.
Yeah, well, and I know, we wanted to talk God Tier a little bit.
Yeah.
We got that game, and I know you were in contact with them. We've been in contact with the developer of Oak and Iron, and we're going to have him on, which will be fun. And this is the type of stuff earlier we were kind of talking about branching out. And, like I said, we're not abandoning Legion altogether. We just want to talk about other stuff, and I just wanted you guys to be prepared so that like you don't tune in like 3 episodes from now and and be like they're not talking about Legion, what is this? So this is what's happening. We're going to try to branch out a little bit, but we'll still listen, we as a network have plenty of Legion content between our blog post. Evan and I, once this is all over, probably get back to doing some of our other videos. And, there's a lot of stuff we're going to do that's Legion focused. We're just transitioning this little piece of the pie to a broader gaming kind of content and geekdom content. I think there's a lot out there that we all have in common that, maybe we could talk about, or maybe, I know there's a few people who Legion was their first war game, right? And their only game that they've ever really played. But then when we mentioned something, they're like, oh man, yeah, I tried that game. It was really cool. So, maybe this will be an opportunity for you to, as an audience, to kind of branch out and maybe we can put you on some other cool stuff.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's see. What else is going on? Okay. So we'll talk a little Legion here, since this will be kind of our sign off for the season 1 of the podcast. I ended up getting an Iden, Vital Assets, and an AAT.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the mail.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So, yeah, I got it from
super cool. Like, they should be out, right? Like, this shouldn't be rare, but I'm like, oh wow, holy cow!
You found one in the wild? Actually, someone, their local store had them in stock, and they sent me the link, and I just ordered them, and they just came. Basically,
that's awesome. I ordered my AAT from Fantasy Flight Games, but
I made that same mistake too.
Yeah, dude, for real. Like, normally they always got them sooner than my comic store, and I'd missed the pre-order at my store, so I'm like, well, I'll just get it on the site, and I'll get it early, and then I'll have it ready to play, like, a week before, whatever. That was pre-Worlds. Yeah, and I haven't heard a thing. So, hey, man, you got them. Cool. All right.
Yeah, so it's funny. Right before this all went down, I did the same thing. I was like, yo, you know what? I'm going to order straight from Asmodee because they come like 5 days before our store gets them, if our store even gets them. And, and I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go direct just so I get my stuff. And then literally quarantine. And then it was like, yeah, we're not shipping anything. And I was like, what? And then, through Facebook and all these other places, we've seen kind of how all this stuff was hitting the wild. And so, somebody reached out to me and asked me if I was interested. And I was like, yep, I am. I'll take those things, please. So I got all those in. The funny part is I got them in. I opened the AAT immediately because that's the thing I'm I'm not really excited about. The other stuff. Fine, Vital Assets looks fun. You and I played a little bit of it wrong, but we played it. And then Iden looks fun, but like the AAT, and the Staps are the two things I'm waiting for to build because I am building a droid army with the Staps and the tank. That is what I'm doing. And that is my next army. I don't care if it's good or not. That's what I'm playing from now on as soon as those Staps come out. And it's what I have since Legion started. Like, if you guys go way back to the first podcast, since Legion started, I have been like, I can't wait till droids come out with tanks and, the Stap Riders. And that is what I've been waiting for. And so now I'm going to play them. So
nice.
Super. So I opened the AAT. It looks beautiful. I'm really excited about that. That's all I did. And then I literally put them on my table, and I haven't been back because I've been busy.
I played some the Stops on TTS, and they're good. They're like bikes. So if you like Imperial bikes, there you go. They're a little harder to hit and easier to hit because they have agility, so you can kind of pick up those dodge tokens as you go, but they don't surge. So ouch.
Right.
Like, sometimes you just take 4 or however many you get shot at.
Yeah, I think I made this 10 activation droids list. And so, with having a tank and Staps is really cool. And actually it got me thinking more about the Empire and like, how could you put together a 10 activation bikes tank list, for Empire too. Yeah. And so, I'm just, and then you always get the people yelling at you about, oh, if you don't take 3 bikes, don't take them at all. Like, okay, guys, like, listen, I could take 2. Like, it'll be fine. Like, maybe I figured something out. God forbid, I thought of something that somebody else didn't think of, and so it's just so frustrating. And that's the thing about anything competitive, right? Is that everyone's got the winning formula until somebody beats them, and then it's like, oh wait, that guy, look what they're doing,
Yeah.
And it's just like, yep, okay. So anyhow, I'm looking forward to playing the tank and the Staps. I'm not even going to put them in TTS because I don't even want to deal with it. I want them on the table.
Yeah.
And I want to see how they play on the table. I don't want any I don't want to what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want my experience to get jaded by playing in TTS or get some super unrealistic view positively about how they're going to play, right? Because that's what TTS does. Is it's not real, man.
It just ain't real.
It just ain't. Yeah, I mean that sincerely. Like, listen, I'm glad it's there. I'm glad that we have the opportunity, especially now. Like, I'm not shit talking it because it's because I absolutely hate it and I think it's the worst idea. I just don't care for it as a barometer of how things are in the real world. Because the dice roller's wonky. It rolls hot and like randomly hot and cold. It doesn't make any sense. And then, it's just not the same as real life. So I'm waiting to get them on the real life table. That being said, I'm playing an Invader League, and so is Evan, because I want to play Legion. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Yeah, I know. I just gotta get 2 Stab Riders. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be so great.
Yeah, who knows? When are they supposed to come out?
Yeah,
who knows? Yeah,
quarter to never at this point.
Bummer. So
hold on. Let's take a few minutes here. Let me get to the Fantasy Flight website products. Let's look at their products. Legion.
I think at the same time, what else was announced for them? Oh, the clone ATRT, right?
Yeah.
So that'd be.
It's probably a long time because I think they were announcing it at Adepticon, but we did that not Adepticon stream or whatever,
Yeah.
So I would
right.
Right. So probably September at this point, I would guess. Because you figure you still got Cad Bane and Padme, you still got the BX. You still got the BX series droids. You still got what else?
BX and ARCs. Yep,
BX and ARCs. Yeah. I don't think anything's been announced for. What about Empire and Rebels? Anything for them?
Empire and Rebel. Just Cassian and
Clan Ren.
Yeah, Clan Ren and the Inferno Squadron.
Inferno Squad, and yeah,
dude, there's 9 unreleased products at this point.
Yeah,
right?
I would guess September. The Staps and the ATRT for the Republic will come in. Yeah,
the ATRT looks pretty good actually.
It looks like an ATRT just with a different mini on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool. Like,
yeah.
Well, it's just something. It's more stuff, right? Like, honestly, more options. Like, I'm so desperate for just new content for this game at this point. I'll take anything.
Right. I mean, but that's. I mean, and that's the other reason why I think for people that haven't tuned us out after we said we weren't going to talk about Legion as much. That's the other reason why we as a podcast need to figure something else out because, Legion isn't predictable and it isn't very, orientated on time and delivery schedules.
Another word about So I mean, like the problem is it was like that before everything, right? So this isn't a like take Modiphius, right? They're like, hey, sorry guys, we can't ship anything out or be on time because wait, we don't have anybody in the warehouse. Like that's them because this happened, and not just hey, it's another delay,
right?
On with no explanation.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, it is what it is. It's not easy, I get delays happen, but it's just like, all right, it's
feels
hard
bad.
to talk.
That's all.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about a game if stuff's not coming out about it. So, we're gonna kind of switch gears a little bit and try to see what else is up there, and maybe find the next Legion.
There's a Sea of Thieves pen and paper coming out.
Ooh.
Official, actually, too, not like a made up side one. So
really,
yeah, that's coming at some point, maybe whenever.
Perfect. All right. Well, anything else, Evan?
Let's see. Nah, man, it's been dry. Same content. We always want to give you the quality, always top notch. That's why I haven't put out any of those. I didn't do that unboxing because I thought it was like really bad, and there's just better stuff out there for it. But well, I mean, that's like where I want my stuff to be, though, right? Like, right. I don't want to just do it just to say I did it. I want to do it, and it looks cool. So you'll see some stuff coming from us soon. We're excited for everything to open up, hopefully safely soon. So maybe we can at least get back to doing studio stuff. Hey, that's my 2 cents.
Hey.
Raccoons are the animal of the pandemic. They wear masks and they wash their hands. That's
I love it.
So take that. Hiya. Ka-cha.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow.
All right. Well, cool. Well, so we'll be back next week with a whole new season of the 5th Trooper podcast. It's gonna be wild and crazy, and we're gonna have all kinds of new games and thoughts and things and places and
and stuff and other things. Stuff. Nah, man, it's gonna be good. We'll at least we'll have some consistency again, which would be nice. So, hey,
yeah,
we'll take it.
All right, yeah, rock on. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us. We will talk to you next week.
Everyone, stay rad.
Join us next week for another edition of the 5th Trooper podcast.
This has been a 5th Trooper production.